Namaste, welcome to our Monday short hold Yin Yoga practice. We call this Mindful Monday. So we're going to start in a seated meditation today and see what we can do. So let's begin. And remember, you can take maybe your blanket or something and put it under just the sit bones to lift the sit bones up enough to get your pelvic girdle like a box. So the front of your pelvic girdle right here and the back should be straight up and down like this, right? We don't want them to start tilting, the pelvic girdle start tilting, because then that puts pressure on the lower back and the sacrum. And that can weaken your belly muscles too, your abdominals. So do what you can to kind of bring the body forward a little bit, bring the belly forward, get that lower back in its natural curve. And then just close your eyes and let your arms relax. You can roll your shoulders in backward circles a few times if that feels good. It just feels good for me. Just take your time and start to move that upper back around a little bit. So do what feels good for you. Now let your shoulders drop and reach the crown of the head up towards the ceiling so you feel the back of your neck lengthen. A lot of times we sometimes project the head forward, or we drop the head or lift the chin. So you want to learn to get the chin parallel with the ground. So that's what they say for the proper alignment of the skull. And then just close your eyes and let your face begin to soften. So sometimes we're tensing muscles and we're not aware that we're doing that. So in this class, I want you to start to notice where you might be holding things in and start to let go of that wasted energy. So relax your forehead, let your forehead melt, let your eyes relax as you look inward with compassion through this class today. Good. Swallow to relax your throat. And then let your jaws part. So we want to make sure that we're not clenching the jaw, and this is common. So let your teeth come apart, let your jaws relax, let your tongue relax. It might feel like it gets full as it relaxes. And we just want to become aware of these things, right? We're not judging ourselves here, we're just noticing. Beautiful. Now shoulders down, chest up a little bit. And then start to notice your breath by your nose. Feel it going in and out. This is our Anapana meditation from the Vipassana tradition of Buddhist 10-day silent retreats. This is what they say the Buddhists taught, the Buddha actually taught in his day. And he refused those that could not say that they were too busy, right, to sit for 10 days in silence to learn his technique. Every day starts with this Anapana meditation, every meditation. So you start by becoming aware that the breath is flowing in and out through the nose, and that's it, right? Just being aware. Dexter's doing great. He's very aware of his breath right now. His eyes are closing. Daisy looks like she may have fallen asleep, which is okay. Right? And that's why we sit when we meditate, so we don't fall asleep. When we lay down, oftentimes we will. That probably means that you're just tired and you need that rest. So notice the sensation the breath creates as it enters and exits the nostrils. We can use this platform to witness our thoughts, to take care of our body today without getting lost in judgment or expectations. And then we can use this throughout the day as well to stay present when things kind of get stirred up in our life. All right, now we're going to begin our pranayama. And this is a simple 3-part breathing, that I learned in 2001 when I did my first 200-hour teacher training in Royal Oak, Michigan with, at Namaste Yoga, which has moved now. It was there for 20 plus years and now it's in a different location. But this one I've carried with me since then, right, over 20 years, because it's such a simple pranayama. So what we do is we start with the belly. So we're going to breathe in and let the belly expand. And then we're going to breathe out, draw the belly muscles back, right? Breathe in, belly expands. And breathe out, belly pulls back. And that pushes out stale air. Now continue on your own. Nice and slow. It's starting to wake up the lower chakras, to wake up the lower part of the lungs that we forget about, especially when we're stressed out and breathing more shallow. All right, second part, breathe into your rib cage. So as you inhale, ribs stretch. And as you exhale, relax and continue. Breathe in, ribs expand. Breathe out, relax. And continue like that, nice and slow. Stretching those intercostal muscles between the rib bones. And really waking up that personal power center. In through the nose, out through the nose. Good. Now let's take it up to the chest. So breathe in, feel the chest rise, and breathe out, let it fall. Inhale, open your heart. Exhale, relax back into your heart. So we want to move forward from love. The opposite of love is fear. Witness the mind. All that fear comes from the mind. So as we step back and watch our thoughts today during this practice and throughout our day, and start to step back into that third chakra, step into the fourth chakra. Love, love, love. Now let's fill the lungs like a glass, filling the belly, filling the ribs, filling the chest. Pause. Empty chest, empty ribs, belly draws back and pause. Continue. Filling bottom to top at your own pace. Emptying top to bottom, draw the belly back, squeeze out any stale air, and begin again. A few more rounds as you find your own way to breathe like this. So this practice is about tuning into your own body and taking care of yourself and listening to what your body is saying and what it needs. And then honoring what it says by taking it easy mentally and physically, practicing ahimsa, non-harming, non-violence towards ourselves. Let's open the arms like wings, palms up. And as you inhale, reach up and bring your hands together over your head. And as you exhale, bring your hands to your heart center in Anjali Mudra, touching your thumbs against your breastbone, closing your eyes, and thinking about, what do I need today to be happy, to be free? And then set that as your intention and ask for what you need. Whatever you ask for, say thank you for it, as if you have already received it, as if you believe it, even if you might not. Maybe you don't feel like you deserve to have this thing you're asking for. That's going out the door with this practice, right? You deserve whatever you desire, whatever you need in your life to be happy and free. We all do. You're not excluded. Okay, let's put the hands at the forehead to touch. Thoughts will be there. They're not who you are. We're just going to watch the thoughts, be the witness. Hands back to the heart center. Now we're going to do an Om together. So Om is a vibration. It's a high vibration sound, like many other like holy words from different traditions, like Amen, or any of the other words you can think of from your specific tradition or belief system. So the word God, things like that, those have a high vibration. So Om, I want you to feel the at the end in your heart center. Okay, so let's breathe in. Oh. All right, that's a good Om. It woke Daisy up. Can you go lay down, Daisy? Go lay down, baby. Let's begin today with swan pose. So we're going to go right into a pose from this seated position. So we're here. We're just going to keep the right leg where it is and bring the left knee back. And then line up the right knee right in front of your right hip. Right foot across from the knee. Back leg is bent. And like I said in yesterday's class, sometimes you get more pressure by keeping this knee bent. Sliding the leg back is going to be different on the hip. So even if you're flexible enough to straighten your leg behind you, maybe try today keeping the knee bent out to the side. Now, we want to make sure muscles are relaxed. So if they're not, stay here. Maybe pull your right foot back so you can relax your right leg muscles. But if you're good to go and your muscles are relaxed, you're not feeling a whole lot of pressure yet, start to come forward, maybe placing blocks under the elbows, okay? Now, we want to work at a 5 on a scale of 1 to 10. The first principle of yin is to find your edge. So I've kind of come up with this scale idea to use in this class, right? Because when you go to the doctors and you're in pain, he'll ask, right, what is it, the pain, on a scale of 1 to 10? So let's try to see if we can find that 5, that place of sweet discomfort, as Lillian Bolas called it, one of the first yoga teachers to ever be on television, right? She was back in the 70s, I think. She was on TV. So let's breathe. So once you find your edge, the second principle is to become still. So the stillness should be comfortable. It should be relaxing. Even though we're working at sweet discomfort, make sure stillness doesn't feel stiff or hard at all. All right, let's breathe. Third principle, save for time. We're a minute in, we've got 4 to go. Good, steady breath creates a steady mind. As your body opens, you can go further into it, maybe going down a little bit lower, but also giving yourself permission to come up a little bit if it gets too strong. If it starts going above a 5, maybe not just 6, because that could easily go back to a 5, but if it starts going up to a 7 or 8, please feel free to adjust. Okay, now while you're in this posture, I'd like you to practice some self-care, some self-love. So I want you to say to yourself, nothing is wrong with me. See how your mind reacts, see how your body reacts to this idea. And this comes from a TEDx talk that I watched yesterday. A therapist has written a book, There's Nothing Wrong with You. I'm excited to get it. And this is what she tells her clients, to use this mantra, there's nothing wrong with me. And watch your mind as it goes into, but I'm this, but I'm that, but I haven't done this or that. And what she says is, so what? There's nothing wrong with you. So try this mantra. Mantra just means something you say to yourself over and over slowly in your mind. Keep your mind focused on this idea that there's nothing wrong with you. So what we're opening here in our first Yin Yoga posture is the outer rotation of the joint. Remember, your hip is the ball and socket. And right now, your right thigh, your front thigh is rolling outward. That's outer rotation. We'll move the hips in the 4 major directions today. Inner, outer rotation, flexion, and extension, and also in adduction and adduction directions. So let's keep breathing. We have 1 minute left. The meridians are affected by our practice. This practice comes from China, and acupuncture comes from China. And we are addressing the acupuncture pressure points. So no needles, but we get the same results. We get energy flowing through the channels, the chi, the prana. So in this pose, we're working with the gallbladder channel. Just a few more breaths. Always welcome to slide your back leg back in this pose once you're all the way down towards the mat. Maybe your forehead is touching. But please let go of goals here as we take care of ourselves. All right, now we're going to come up and take both legs out front and just let your legs be straight for a few moments. Maybe bouncing the knees on the mat, waking up the back of the knees. And you can put your feet flat, hands behind you, and let your knees tip side to side. See how that feels. Good. Now we'll do our first shoulder opener, reverse table. So you want to plant your hands behind you. Your fingers can face forward, sideways, back, any variation. But we want the hands shoulder width because if they're wider, it's really hard to get up. And now this might be too strong. So if it is, just hold on. I'll show you an alternative. Squeeze your butt and lift. Drop your head back if that feels good. Now, if that's too strong, you can sit cross-legged and just push your chest to the sky. But you are building some bone density in that reverse table. So just try building core strength, keeping your knees over your ankles, please. Squeezing your glutes, building strength in your glutes as well. Okay, now when you come down, meditation pose, shake out your hands. Roll the shoulders backwards. And then we're going to take a cleansing breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. So breathe in. Second side. And we're going to bring the left leg forward, right leg back, same pose, knee in front of hip. You don't want the knee going out to the left. Ankle across from the knee, so it's a 90-degree bend, like this, right? Just like my elbow is bent, 90 degrees. Same with this leg. And if it's too strong, hold the foot back. So then it becomes more like a 45-degree angle, right? And that's okay. You're here to take care of yourself. Those of you that need more pressure, if your muscles are relaxed, fold forward, putting elbows under your blocks, if you like, elbows under your blocks, blocks under your elbows. Your elbows could also go to the mat. You can use a block under your forehead. Be creative with your props. Now let's keep breathing. Nice, steady breaths. Feeling the energy starting to move as things start to break loose in this left hip now. There is nothing wrong with me. And I think this is a powerful statement, especially if we've been raised in a critical environment, like I know I was, very critical. So it might even bring up emotions for you when you say this to yourself. So maybe we breathe in as we say this mantra, we breathe out, we relax, because this idea can help us just relax and let go of all these expectations we have of ourselves, maybe others have of us. We go lower if it gets easy, we come up higher if it gets hard. Slide the back of your back as your hip continues to open. Please take your time, listen to your body. Focus on what it feels like Breathing in, filling, emptying like a glass. Breathing out. Try and take the breath into your belly. Okay, we're halfway there. One more minute. Try to let go of any work you're doing, any effort. So this is our passive yoga practice where we let the muscles go so the joint can take on the pressure and get healthier and stronger. All right, now we're going to slowly rise again. If you're folding, bring both legs out front. Just gently bounce your knees. See how it feels now. And then place your feet flat, wide as the mat if you can. Let the knees tip side to side. Windshield wipers. Just helps the lower back to loosen up. Okay, and another reverse table. Now another alternative would be bridge pose, laying back, feet flat, squeeze your butt to lift, and that's another alternative. So those of you in reverse tables, stay there, pushing your hands and feet into the floor, squeezing your glutes in both poses, knees over ankles in both poses. Keep breathing, stay as long as you like. When you come down, we'll meet back in that seated meditation pose again. And then just take a nice deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Beautiful. Now let's come to hands and knees. So we've already opened up the outer rotation a bit on the sides of the hips. So let's get to our hands and knees now and do some cows and cats. So knees are hip distance, your knees are on your blanket, and your blanket is spread out wider than your mat, okay? Blocks are close by, so keep them close so when we need them, we don't have to come out of our poses. And then the fingers are spread out, hands flat. Just start to move your body up and down. Breathe in, tail and chin go up, and breathe out, tail and chin go down. Okay, and just back and forth, nice and slow, nice and steady. Good. So feel your body. Now, if you're familiar with all of this, you know, and the ups and downs aren't as intense as they used to be, your body's starting to wake up, you can start moving your spine any way that feels good, maybe side to side, for that lateral flexion, opening up the rib cage, or maybe circles with your tail and head. So just be careful if you're new to this, that You're not moving too quickly. Less is more in this case, right? We don't want to go beyond that edge where we're starting to feel pain. All right, next pose is inner rotation. We're going to put the block underneath us. So you can do 2 blocks stacked on top of each other if you want a higher platform. If your inner thighs are really tight, please use 2 blocks. A little bit lower would be 2 blocks or just 1 sideways. And then if you want just minimum support, you can do flat blocks. I do mine in the medium level. And then another block at the top of your mat. So you can use other things like pillows too. All right, so we want to make sure we're in table pose and the blocks are under us. Look where your hands are. Put your elbows where your hands were. Let the knees slide apart, stretching out the inner thighs, and let your body rest against the blocks. See, I don't even need my arms. Okay, but I'm going to keep my elbows there. And so I can maybe move my blocks lower, change the position, and then forehead on the other block. Same amount of time, 5-minute hold here. This is our short hold class, so 5 minutes is a short hold for those who have been practicing for a while. If you're new to the practice, it's kind of intermediate, because sometimes we hold this pose for 8 or 9 or even 10 minutes. So today, these are short holds, good for every level. And let's find our edge wherever that might be in this pose, stretching intercostal or stretching the adductor muscles on the inner thighs of the body. And then maybe you feel this in your groin, right? That root chakra is waking up. The foundation of all the other chakras, the earth chakra, helping you feel grounded today. So let's breathe. See if you can find your breath, find your stillness once you've found your edge. And then just commit to yourself. There's nothing wrong with me. There's nothing wrong with my body. There's nothing wrong with my mind. There's nothing wrong. And let's keep breathing softly in and out. Good. Relaxing your feet wherever they are. And then we can adjust this one. If we need more pressure, we can separate the heels. Please no wider than the knees with your heels, turning the toes out if you'd like. You want to make sure the knees don't go wider than 90 degrees, because that's a twisting of your knee joint. That's unnatural for the knee. To make it easier, feet slide closer together and maybe point your feet. That's going to take pressure off your knees as well as the hip. All right, let's keep breathing. Relax as we stimulate kidney and liver chi. And chi is just energy that flows through these channels, the meridians, and to the organs and throughout the whole body. Good, that's 2 minutes. We have 3 to go. Let's relax and concentrate on our mantra. There's nothing wrong with me. Or maybe simply there's nothing wrong. Feel the breath by your nose, returning to that Anapana meditation whenever your mind wanders. Good, we're halfway there already. So it's good that you are here, that you're doing this for yourself right now. This is being recorded before Christmas. We have today is 6 days till Christmas. I'm keeping track and putting meditations every day that you can use, like the one that we're doing today is day number 6 days till Christmas. So it's the 4th tip I've shared on Instagram and Facebook on my social medias. So we're practicing it today. We need to take care of ourselves. People are getting sick all over the place. I just saw a class canceled at Namaste, where I did my training because someone is sick. I have friends and relatives that are sick right now. So the flu is making its way around. This is really good for your immune system, just slowing down like this and breathing deeply. Raising our vibration. Now, in a few breaths, if you'd like a little challenge here at the end of the pose, you can take the blocks out. But if it's feeling strong, don't do that. Just stay where you are. So those of you that want, take the blocks out and we'll hold for the last minute. Inner thigh stretch a little more, but knowing it's only 60 seconds. Keep breathing. A few more breaths. Breath helps us stay calm and relaxed when things get intense or challenging, difficult. So we use this breath in our life. Let's start to crawl forward down onto the belly. Take your time. Moving slow at the end of the pose so we don't injure this tissue. We're working with ligament and fascia around the joint tissue. Now point your toes and prop yourself up on your elbows for Sphinx pose. Now this is going to feel good on your lower back. Just rock your hips side to side. See how that feels today. And you can use a block to support your neck in this pose, support your forehead. It really does help to drop the whole back and relax the shoulders, or you're welcome to let your head dangle. And make sure you keep breathing as you try different things out. You can rock your chin like a pendulum if that feels nice. Or maybe ear towards shoulder on either side. We'll do a little bit of neck work after this. Now, if this feels like a good level for you, please stay here, right? You're looking at your lower back, listening to what it's saying. If you're feeling pressure already, you don't need more pressure. But if you want to go further, plant your hands in front of your elbows flat. And then squeeze your bum. Tilt your tail down, hold that. And then lift the elbows off the mat. This is called seal. So if it's too strong, just simply put your elbows back down. Let's stay here for a few breaths, really feeling this beautiful stretch. As we open up, we're going to lift the ribs, lift the chest, maybe lift the chin. So the entire spine is in the back. Now, when you go down, when you're finished, you're going to turn your head to the right and place your arms next to your body, palms up. So left cheek on the mat. Good. Close your eyes and breathe. Feel your lower back expand as you breathe into your belly. This is called diaphragmatic breathing. So we're strengthening the diaphragm muscle, which is a passive muscle. Now, if this is good for your neck, stay here. If you need more pressure, bring your right knee up like it was kind of in frog pose. And then you can change your arm position and maybe turn your head the opposite direction. So now your right cheek would be on the ground. Please don't force anything. All right. Let's come back to Sphinx pose for a moment. Rock the hips side to side. Let your head hang again. Maybe rocking the chin like a pendulum. All right, now we're going to try the other side. So go ahead, place your right cheek on the mat, arms by your sides, palms up if you can. And if that feels easy, bring the left knee up, turn your right cheek or your left cheek to the mat. So you're gazing in the opposite direction of that left knee that's up. You can switch your arm position if you like. Just take a few breaths. We're snuggling into the ground, getting grounded today, letting the earth support us, taking nice, slow breaths. All right, let's bring the legs together. Place the hands under your shoulders, push yourself up to table, and try to sit back in your child's pose. So letting the hips go back. You can stretch your arms out in front of you if you want. You could place your hands or fists or a block under your forehead if that's better. Do what feels good. All right, let's sit up on the feet. Get a nice stretch in the tops of the feet. So if this is just impossible, really hard, causes pain, take a block and slip it under your seat. Toes are pointed, knees are bent. Roll the shoulders in backward circles. Notice how you feel now. Now, I want you to find a comfortable place. We're going to do a little bit of shoulder work here as well. So make sure you can be still here for a couple of minutes without pain. Tops of the feet are opening. All right, bring the arms into a T position. We're going to bring the right elbow under the left and then cross at the wrists, palms face each other. So it doesn't have to look like what I'm showing you. Just try to bring the right elbow under the left and then try to grab a hold of something. And then just hold it here and feel the stretch in your shoulders. This is eagle arms. Garudasana. Good, we're stretching the tops of the feet at the same time. So keep breathing. Focus on your body and breath. Good, bring the arms out to a T. Now we're going to stretch the right arm up to the sky and pat the back. So this might be difficult for you. That's okay. You can tip your head forward and then reach up with your left hand and grab a hold of the right elbow with the left hand. Okay, and just hold it there and breathe. Feel the stretch in your right tricep. So this whole area here is getting a nice stretch. Just a few breaths here. All right, we're going to stretch the arms up and let them slowly float down. And then we're going to do the second side. Okay, so arms to a T. Left elbow under right. Cross at the wrist, palms face each other. So if your shoulders are tight, this is a good one, but it's going to be hard. Okay, so please remember there's nothing wrong with you. You're just tight. No big deal, right? That can change. You're here doing this work, and that's what's important. Just a few breaths. Okay, arms back out. And then inhale, left arm up this time. Pat yourself in the back. Grab the left elbow with the right hand. Tip your head forward and relax. Let that left arm relax so the joint takes on the pressure. Remember, you can always raise up to kneeling if it gets too strong, so you don't have to come out of the shoulder part if it gets too intense on the. So there's 6 lower body meridians that cross over the top of the foot that we're affecting right now. These all connect to those lower body organs: stomach, spleen, kidney, liver, gallbladder, and urinary bladder. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, let them float to the floor. Beautiful. Let's lean forward. You're using a block, take it out, wiggle your feet around. Yeah, feel those ankles nice and energized. Turn your toes under, sit back. Start to find a stretch for the toes. So this can be intense if you've never done it before. So you could be way up here, right? It doesn't matter. Find where it feels good. Sit back to where you feel a nice pressure, where you can breathe, you can be still, you can stay for time. Right? If your baby toes don't touch, you can do what I do, which is let my heels fall out a little bit wider, so my baby toes are getting a stretch too, because there's meridians that connect with all the toes. So if you're a little bit more open, your hands might come up to your thighs. That's intense, so please be careful. All right, let's lift the knees off the ground. Come into this nice stretch for the calf muscles. Now this is a stretch for the knees and lower back as well. So make sure you're breathing. Nice steady breaths. In with peace today, out with stress. Okay, now we're going to slowly go up to standing, okay? Get the clock ready, because these poses are timed. So once you come to standing, I want you to make sure your feet are facing forward, and you're just in a relaxed position with your arms and your body, right? You're not standing wide, your feet aren't together, just a comfortable distance between the feet. And then I want you to put your hands on your knees, bending your knees, and tilt your tail up, that's the cow pose. And then round your back, that's cat. Do it a couple more times. Breathe in, tail and chin up. And breathe out, tail and chin down. And then one more time. Breathe in. Now hold it here, tail up, and put your elbows on your knees. All right, this is a nice short hold. This is only 3 minutes. The other poses we practiced so far have been 5. Now this one's going to stretch the whole back body. We've been working kind of on the front body with the tops of the feet opening, right? The front of the ankles and then the toes, getting the bottoms of the feet open. We've worked into the outside edge of the hip and then the inner edge with frog. So now we're addressing the back of the body, the hamstrings and the spine. So you can let your head hang if that feels nice. Maybe moving your head yes and no, or you can hold your head up. If you feel dizzy at all, you could always do this seated with your legs in front of you and just bending forward over your legs without pulling. So urinary bladder meridians waking up here, the yin-yang channels of the body. The sun and moon, earth and sky. Good, this is a balancing practice. Make sure your toes are relaxed and spread nice and wide on your mat. You don't want to grip the floor with the toes. Good. How does the first minute feel? Notice your body. Come back to your breath. There's nothing wrong with me just because I have tight hamstrings. Right? Let's put things in perspective. Take those deep breaths. Breathe out, relax. Now, if you need more pressure, you can just let your body dangle. This is called dangling pose, by the way. Maybe pulling opposite elbows or placing your hands at your lower back. Or if you want to go pretty deep into the shoulders here, you can interlace your fingers palm to palm. Slowly lift those arms up towards the sky. Be careful, please. Keep your knees bent. Keep your neck relaxed. Don't overdo it. It's not worth it. So that's very similar to the two poses, the two reverse tables that we did. So if those are hard for you, then you probably don't want to do this one. Work on your reverse tables first. Okay, your weight can shift back towards your heels to change how you're feeling it, or maybe forward towards the toes. You can also bend the knees more or less in this pose. Just 30 seconds. Keep breathing. In with peace, out with what we don't need. Let it go. Good. All right, so we're going to start crawling forward nice and slow to the table pose again. And notice how you feel now. Return to your cats and cows. So hands flat, knees hip distance. Just start to move your spine any way that feels good now. All right, we're getting ready for our spinal twist. So we're going to bring the right arm up. Place the right arm on the floor behind the left wrist. Shoulder down, right side of the face, forehead. And just relax, making sure the hips are over the knees. Now this is called thread the needle. It's addressing the upper spine, the thoracic between your shoulder blades. So just listen to your body right now. Notice how it feels. Try to relax the arm right against the mat. Just close your eyes. And if it feels easy, you're welcome to lift the top arm, the left arm up, and thread it behind the back if that feels good. You can also use your left hand in front of you for support. So let your body decide what feels good right now. 2 minutes. Breathing, soft breaths. You're twisting your lungs a little bit, your rib cage. So breath will be different. So we're working into that heart chakra like we did in the last class. Waking up to love, letting go of fear. Watching the mind, listening to the body, reminding ourselves there's nothing wrong here. So Ruby said, one of my favorite poets, that out beyond the ideas of right and wrong, there is a field. I'll meet you there. Right? This is the field where we can play and experience joy and use our creativity in our life. Beyond right and wrong, beyond duality. Just a few more breaths. Notice where you feel the pose. Take your breath there. Learning how to heal yourself through this practice. Okay, left hand down. Let's gently sweep the right arm up. Good. Feel the stretch from hand to hand. So, don't look at other people and try to do what they're doing. Really tune into your body and go to where it feels good. This is why you often see me close my eyes when I'm practicing, switch hands, right hand down, left hand up. And then switch again. Left hand down, right hand up, and then step your right foot back. So you're on your left knee and your left hand. Left toes come behind you like a kickstand. Now use your right foot at the back of the mat, toes pointing towards the side of the mat so you can have a little bit of support from your foot flat. And then let your right arm fall back. Let your head hang and breathe. Good. Where do you feel the stretch? Maybe it's your waist, your shoulder, your neck. Maybe it's everywhere at once. It's okay. That's why you're here, is to get energy moving again so you can feel comfortable in your own skin. Not even just comfortable, but happy and joyful and peaceful. Arm can go over the head if that feels nice. Feel your waist getting long. A little bit of lateral flexion here. All right, now we're going to return to table and take a big step forward with the right foot. Right foot steps up. We need a big step because we want the hips to go into it like that. And if the foot's too close, the knee's going to go past the ankle, heel's going to come up, and that's not safe for the knee joint. So step your foot forward, let your hips come to where they stop naturally, and then make sure your front knee's over your front ankle. Take a block, put it in front of, so you lean back, put the block there, and then lean forward onto the block. Just try it. There's different ways to do this. You could put the short end against your thigh like that if you're up a little higher. Okay? All right, now we're going to lay over that front leg, hands on either side of the foot, just for the first minute. And then if it feels okay, we'll go deeper into the pose. Now, this is a hard one for most people, so please take it easy on yourself. Blocks on either side are ready for the other two postures. You can put a block straight up and down under your left elbow, especially if you need space for your chest inside your right knee. Just place your right shoulder against the right knee instead. And then maybe a block or two stacked underneath the left elbow for support. Keep breathing, nice, slow, steady breaths. Good. We're doing 5-minute holds today for our short hold class. And if this is strong for you, do this practice over and over again. And if you do this maybe 3 or 4 times in a week, you'll start to see the tissue start to relax and get stronger and longer. It's going to feel like you're getting more flexible. Now, if this is pretty easy, you can go deeper. If it feels good where you are, please stay here. Like I said, this is a hard one for most people. Put blocks under your hands, push down, lift up to the chest. Remember, your back toes can point or flex in dragons. So now we're in high dragon, which is much stronger on the front of the hip. So you could always go back to baby dragon if you just tried it and it doesn't feel good, it feels too strong, it's higher than a 5 on that scale of 1 to 10. Your right forearm can rest against your right thigh. That's more comfortable. I don't want you pushing down and stressing out your shoulders right now. Right? We've done some shoulder work already. We want to keep the shoulders relaxed. Now it's just 2 minutes here. Let's breathe. You can move your head around, yes and no, if that feels good. Good, moving the neck in all the directions it's meant to move, just like the rest of the spine. So we have side bending, that would be bringing your ear over the shoulder on either side. And then we have the back bend, when you lift your chin, and the forward fold when you drop your head forward. And of course the spinal twisting of the neck is where you turn your chin side to side, just like we did when we were laying on our bellies. Good, keep breathing. Just relaxing and stillness is always welcome. Good, taking the breaths, filling and emptying like a glass. Try to breathe into your belly just whenever you can, without force. Okay, now we're going to try low dragon. So let's go back to the baby dragon, thigh, And then blocks inside your foot. The blocks can be stacked on top of each other, sideways or flat, just like in frog. And then put your elbows down on your blocks. Walk your right foot a little out to the right, just to make room for this right shoulder. And then again, your back toes can turn under or point. So maybe they adjust it on their own, right? That's your intuition guiding your body without your mind getting in the way. We have 2 minutes. So notice how the sensation changes. We're working on the stomach and spleen channels in the front of the left hip. But as we go lower, you might feel it in the front leg more than the back. Just notice that without judgment. Keep breathing. There's nothing wrong. Breathe in, breathe out. So Susan Hempels, who's the author of the book, There's Nothing Wrong with You, or What If Nothing Was Wrong with You? Like, what would you do with all that time that we spend? That's what she said, criticizing and judging and complaining about ourselves. She says the phrase, "it is what it is," really applies to this. So things are as they are, right? Yata bhuta. And if we take the judgment away, it's just, it is what it is. Not right or wrong, it's not good or bad. 30 more seconds, let's keep breathing. Keep your shoulders relaxed when we're doing dragons. And you're welcome to turn to the right hand on the right knee for winged dragon, a little advanced, so please be careful. All right, so we're going to straighten the arms, and I want you just to slowly pull your hips out. We never want to make a fast movement at the end of one of these poses, because we really can injure this tissue with a fast move, especially after we just stretched and stressed out that tissue. So now we're in half splits. We're standing on the left knee and the right leg is straightened a little bit, it's relaxed, and we can just bow over that right leg a little, letting the head hang if you can. This is the yang channel of the urinary bladder channels that we worked in our standing portico. Now take your right leg back. Let's go back to cats and cows, hands and knees, up and down, nice and slow. Breathe in, breathe out, or side to side, or circles, anything that feels good. So we're getting tuned in to our true nature, right? That of joy and lightness and breath. Feel your breath. The breath is the gateway to really tuning into our intuition, all these things. Now left arm's gonna go up, and left arm behind the right wrist, shoulder down, palm faces the sky. Left side of your face or head against the mat. And just breathe and relax. Nothing's wrong. Good. If you need more, the right arm can go up and thread behind you. If you need less, you could always use a blanket on each side of your head, but if you just stay in it for a few moments, you might feel that need to move, or that feeling that it's too hard, it might dissipate very quickly. So give yourself 30 seconds to a minute in these poses before you adjust them. Hips stay over the knees here, so we're not jamming into that shoulder joint by bringing the hips forward of the knees, and all that body weight is pushing into your shoulder. Be careful with that. Good, nice steady breaths. Just a few more breaths. Good. Enjoying this upper back opener, shoulder, neck, rib cage, spinal twist. Now, right hand in front of the face, we're going to sweep the left arm to the sky and feel the stretch from hand to hand, shoulder to shoulder. Good. And then switch your hands. Maybe you can sit your hips back a little bit if it's too intense. Your head around if you like. Keep breathing. Switch one more time now and step the left foot back when you're ready to your easy side plank. So side plank is typically done with the feet stacked, but here we're using the knee because we don't want to heat up the body in yin. We want the body to be cool when we're practicing yin, so the muscles don't take on the pressure instead of the joint. You can let your left arm fall back. You can let your head hang. Good. Keep breathing. Slow, steady breaths. Your head around, the arm can go over the ear. Make your intuitive adjustments. So as you tune into your body and away from your thoughts, you start to tune into that inner knowingness we all have. Intuition. Let's come back to table and take a big step forward now with the left foot. So big step. The taller you are, the bigger the step you need to take. And let your hips kind of fall into it. Maybe sliding the back knee back as you go down or the front foot forward. So the knee is over the ankle. You're laying over your thigh, hands on either side of the foot. You can take that block and slide it in front of the right thigh. Okay, just 1 minute here. We'll do 2 high and 2 low. Hands on either side. If they don't touch easily, remember I want you to use your thigh for support. But you could put a block under your right elbow straight up and down if you'd like. All right, let's keep breathing. Back toes can point or flex. Notice the right hip. Now we're stretching through the front of the right hip, the hip flexors and quadriceps. Stomach and spleen channels are just there on the inside of the hip flexors, going down the inner thigh. Good. Find your breath. The breath really is the gateway to the healing and to the relaxation, the peace, the joy, the intuition. There's nothing wrong. Yes, there's a lot of things going on in the world, in our lives right now, but right here in this moment, there's nothing wrong with me. Start there. Start with yourself. And I will put the link to the TED Talk below so you can check it out. It was entertaining as well as informative and so inspiring. All right, now we're going to rise up. So blocks under your hands. Remember, you stay in baby dragon if you're just beginning this practice, because this is a strong one. And I'd rather have you stay for the whole time than have to come out early because you went too far, right? So lift up, hands on blocks, straight up and down. Try not to overuse your shoulders. Use the block in front of your back leg instead. And your left forearm can rest against your left leg. Keep breathing. Good. If you're falling to the right at all, maybe you're leaning to the right, putting a bunch of pressure on your right hand, step your left foot over to the left a bit. Try to square your hips. Keep them side by side. So we're also putting pressure on the lumbar right now, the lower back. You had a few back bends already, preparing for this pose. But if it gets too strong, simply lean forward more. Maybe just going right back to baby dragon. Nice steady breaths. So this is my basic Yin Yoga practice. plus a couple extras, like all the arm work that we did in our foot exercise, our ankle stretch. A little bit extra today to make sure you walk away from this practice really feeling relaxed and energized all at once. Now we'll go back to baby, put the blocks inside the foot, whatever level. You might want to start high because it's easier to go lower than to try to back out of the pose. So elbows on the blocks, step your left foot out to the left. Maybe your right knee slides back if you're more flexible. Maybe your elbows are on the floor. That's fine as long as you can still relax and breathe. Okay, another 2-minute hold. Do what feels good with your neck. Move your head, hold it up maybe with your thumbs, or just let the head dangle. Making intuitive adjustments means going in a little bit if it gets easy, coming out a little bit if it gets strong. That's called playing your edge, honoring yourself and how you feel today. If you'd like to add the winged dragon, remember this is more advanced, left hand on the left knee, and turn your chest to the left. Just be careful. Good. Now straighten your arms. Gently lift your hips, pull them back into half splits. Hands can be on blocks on either side or the hands, fingertips on the mat. And just bow over your left leg. Let the left leg relax. Nice. Take the left leg back. We're going to sit in our meditation pose right where we started. Just close the eyes and notice how you feel. Roll your shoulders backwards a few times. Good. Now let's take a cleansing breath together. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Feel a sense of relief and release. We're going to do our final relaxation on blocks. So this is a nice heart-opening posture. One block sideways, one straight up and down. And we sit in front of the blocks. I like to hold the block so it goes right where my bra strap is, right behind the chest. And then the block under the head can be straight up and down or sideways. For those of you that are more flexible, more open, you can lower this block sideways. That's going to be much stronger on the neck and the chest, so be careful. Do what feels good. Try not to compete. The legs can be straight, feet fall open like or a simple meditation position. Now close your eyes and swallow again like we did beginning of class. And let your jaws relax. Good. Let your jaw as it relaxes in the bottom of your mouth. No place to go. What to do. Practice being right now. Let your cheeks and nose relax. Your ears. And let your eyes soften as you look inward with compassion. There's nothing wrong with it. Let your forehead smooth out. Remember, you're not. Just let them come and go like clouds right now. The witness. No place to go. Nothing to do. Just be. Let your breath breathe through. Very softly begin to lengthen your breaths without moving. Feel your body receiving the chi, the prana, the life force energy as you inhale. And as you exhale, relax into the joy that you are. Relax into that inner peace that you've created today. And then skim your thumbs across your fingertips and notice how sensitive you are, how awake you are. Stretch your arms straight to the sky above you and then back over the head. Just let the arms hang. You can hold a wrist, a finger, or maybe opposite elbows. The arms can also be separate in a V shape. What feels good? Breathe. Stay tuned into your body as you slide your feet flat. Knees point to the ceiling, and then just let your knees fall to the right or left and just roll off your blocks into fetal position. And just rest there for a few moments, feeling the earth below and thanking Mother Earth for her support today, helping you feel grounded, present. Now let's rise up slowly. We're like breaking free from our shells. And come to your meditation pose again, placing your hands back in Anjali Mudra, touching the thumbs against the breastbone, and bowing your head to yourself. For doing this good work today, for taking time to take care of your body, your spirit, and your mind. And I'm grateful for you for sharing this practice with me today. Let's take a big breath in to seal it in with an Om. Breathe in. Om. The light in me and you is the same. Until we meet again, namaste. Thank you for being here. Have a beautiful day.